title of my periodical is What's Holding Back American Teenagers.
Yeah, can you ever in the cut?
Why did you stay saying that? My introduction is, my article was presented by Lawrence Steinberg to receive statements on why there are so many teenagers in our country not finishing school and not receiving an education. This is one of my quotes. It says, every once in a while, education policy squeezes its way onto President Obama's public agenda, as it did during last month's State of the Union address. Lately, two issues have grabbed his and just about everyone else's attention: early childhood education and access to college. It's taking too long. My second quote is school assessments. An international assessment, our elementary school students generally score toward the top of the distribution, and our middle school students usually place somewhat above the average. But our high school students score well below the international average, and they fare especially badly in math and science compared with our country's chief economic rivals. So basically they're saying elementary school assessments score higher than high school students in math and science. This is another quote I got, excuses. More than half of American high school students who have studied in another country agree that our schools are easier. So the schools that they have in other countries, basically they feel that the schools out there is hard, but when they come to our country, they feel that the school is much easier. So teenagers and blacks and African Americans that say that it's too hard for education to get an education or drop out of school, this is students from another country saying that it's easy. This is another quote I got, high school failure. By contrast, high school students haven't made any progress at all. Reading and math scores have remained flat among 17 years old, as have their scores in subjects areas text and science, writing, geography, and history. And by absolute rather than relative standards, American high school students' achievements is scandalous. So basically they're saying that high school students ain't making no progress at all, that they playing in class really is the problem, and they're not learning anything at all, which is affecting their test scores and their grades. Test scores and their grades. Another quote is supportive teaching. Our high school classrooms are not understaffed, underfunded, or underutilized by international standards, which means that there are enough teachers in the classroom to support students for every need. If students need teachers to talk to, like after school, before school, teachers are there. So this is another quote. High school diploma. Graduating from high school and earning that high school diploma is extremely important because it creates a better life and a more positive life for you. It creates a better job life for you. And that's it. That's the next. My claim is education should be compulsory. With that, my driving question is, should education be compulsory to students? My A1 is teenagers can get a better education and enhance their knowledge finishing high school. My A11, teenagers will overcome obstacles that may seem stressful to others who don't have as much knowledge as them. So for the students that didn't finish high school or didn't get a diploma or education, later on in life, it's going to be obstacles that they can't overcome. And the students that got their diploma will be able to help them out because they got the education and the knowledge. My A12 is teenagers will start to feel good about their education, which means that they will be more positive in life, and they will start to help out others, students as well.
Trey Bosh, wake up.
My A13, teenagers will start to create a better life for themselves. Like I said in the first slide, teenagers will open up more doors and more opportunities to create a more positive life. My A2, teenagers can get a better job rather than working a minimum wage life. This is extremely important because, as y'all see, what happened at the election, minimum wage went down a lot from who was around them. Yeah, but basically, Pat Quinn didn't win, so we can't boost up the minimum wage, which is bad for the uneducators, where the people who don't have their diploma, high school diploma, because hey, it's all they can do, work a minimum wage life. Because without that education, they can get a better, higher paying job.
Working a minimum wage job.
A21. Teenagers can go to college and receive a degree. With their high school diploma, it gives students that extra stride, where it gives them more positive energy to continue with school and to finish on with their education and receive more diplomas, more degrees, etc. My A22. With the education, teenagers receive a higher paying job. Like I said, for the A1, it will create more job opportunities. It will create a better paying job so they can provide for family members. You can't be going to sleep, bro. My A23, teenagers can support family members, like I just said. With a higher paying job, with a high school degree, and finishing going to college, they will be able to support their families and will be able to create a more positive life for themselves and their family as well. A3, teenagers could set a good example for younger children, which means that they can become more positive leaders, not only in class, but outside of class and in society, anywhere. Teenagers can teach their children at an early age the knowledge that they have in hands. So the knowledge that they gain from high school to college by finishing both levels, they will be able to teach their children at an early age, the children that they do have, the knowledge that they do have, or the education that they feel that their child should have before they get to a certain age. My A32. Teenagers can motivate younger children. By children seeing teenagers work hard in class and receive certificates, diplomas, etc., they will start to look up to these teenagers and start to follow their footsteps. A33. By teenagers being positive in class while receiving an education. We can go to the next one. My O1. No, I do not think education should be compulsory for students. One of the reasons why, because teenagers are getting sexually abused and bullied and harassed while at school or either at home. My rebuttal to that, like, to solve this problem, they can get help from medical doctors or their nurses or even their primary doctors to solve this problem. My O12, teenagers may get too lazy to attend school. The rebuttal to this too. They will have to start eating more healthy to become more active enough to go to school and go to sleep on time and and stop being up all hours of the night. And maybe they'll want to go to school in the morning and get an education. My 013, teenagers receive negative energy from relatives. My rebuttal to that, relatives should become more supportive and encourage their children to get an education.
Oh no, my dad.
My 02, teenagers are going through personal problems dealing with family members. My 02 one is, parents may feel that their children's lives are more important than attending school. My 02 my R2 one, my rebuttal to that is the situation. They can get help from medical doctors and that's, damn, didn't I just say that? I go to the next one. What's the next one? I'm getting down. My 022. Parents don't feel safe with their children at school. My rebuttal to that, develop a better chemistry and relationship with the teachers and environment that your child is in, so they can create a better life for their children, so their children could be able to attend that school without any negative energy or without them worried about if their children are being put in harm's way. My 023, teenagers may only feel safe learning in peaceful environments, like I just said. Some students may be scared to even go to school because they're being threatened, like somebody gonna beat them up or something, and they might want to stay home because they're scared. Alright, you go to the next one. R23 to that. Get the parents to be more involved in children's lives, either at home or at school. Talk to the teachers, talk to your children daily, ask how their school day has been, what they learned, etc. That's it.